The XXY movie, off the top of my head, I just want to talk about it a bit more. I saw it in Spanish with German subtitles, so my review of XXY the movie, it can't be absolutely precise because I didn't really get everything. But what I did get was that essentially the XXY the movie was not to represent XXY people like myself. It was just simply called XXY. I think if the film was called XXY and had an actual XXY person in it, and they were referring to themselves as having Klinefelter syndrome, then it would have been a boring film, because XXYs generally fit in. Generally, I know some XXYs don't fit in, including myself, but generally speaking, we can fit in as males. People can just look at us as males in general. There are XXYs out there who look really female. They can be seen as female. And then there's XXYs out there who really do not look either one or the other, so they're androgynous looking. The XXY movie, I think, was an excellent movie. The only thing I wouldn't say excellent about the movie was the title. It technically shouldn't have been called XXY, because XXY people are not the typical person that's in the movie. Yet one could argue that maybe the main actor of the person that's supposed to be hermaphrodite in it, it's posing the possibilities and the probable realities of there existing XXY hermaphrodites in the world. Yet the unfortunate thing about the film is that they did call it XXY, and now most of the XXY community in the world, not including myself, are complaining about the movie. If the movie was about, as I said before, if the movie was about my life, or if the movie was about a typical normal XXY person's life, even though my life would be far more interesting in a film, but there you go. Anyway, now if you were to get the typical normal XXY person and do a film kind of based on their life, it would be a bland, boring, film. But this, because of the shock and horror of the main character having ambiguous genitalia, that was gonna work for striking people's minds with thinking of possibilities of the human species, which is what we need. So in that essence, we really needed the XXY movie to come out as it was and as it is. I urge all XXYs in the world not to go and annoy the director Lucia Puenzo with statements of, why did you call this film XXY? It's nothing to do with XXY, because actually, technically speaking, the main actor in it could easily be an XXY. And it's just like you could take the film, what's it called, the one with the cowboys, the gay cowboys in it, I forget the name of it, but got XY men could complain that, hey, what are you doing putting a bunch of two gay guys in cowboys aren't gay, they could say. This is my point. So I don't think any XXY should be complaining about the XXY movie on the grounds that XXYs are not hermaphrodites, because actually, how are we to know whether hermaphrodites are XY, XX or XXY? I would say it exists all sorts of possibilities with the XXY chromosomes. So that's why I argue with my own kind that say to me that they're Klinefelter syndrome. That's why I argue with them, I say, well, I'm sorry, I don't see us being males. And they argue back with me. I generally tend to be a bit more polite than they have been, but I do hope and I'm optimistic for a better future. So the XXY movie, I saw it and I was just so happy going into the cinema. You know, I knew it was going to be in German subtitles and Spanish, and between German and Spanish, because I understand Spanish and German, but I don't understand everything in both languages. I also French don't understand that anymore. Used to be very good at French and used to be pretty good at Czech. Now I'm not so good at Czech anymore, but hey, there you go. So I went into the cinema with this big smile on my face thinking, wow, this is great, finally a film about my species. So obviously I was a bit shocked when I left the cinema. Not shocked, but a bit like, oh shit, everybody's gonna think that I've got 2 sets of genitalia. You know, how am I gonna explain now to everybody who came to see this film, because I told them I was XXY over the last few years. Not the last few years, since I've known, I've been vocal that I'm XXY. I've told millions, and I mean millions, of people. Well, not millions, maybe 2 million. I've told 2 million people definitely that I'm XXY, and I've explained it always. And that's what I used to do in my life. When I was playing my gigs, I used the microphone for gripping the crowd with thoughts and music. Anyway, the XXY movie is a must-see. I mean, you've got to see it. Transgender people should see it as well. You know, I would like to say, seeing that this is going to be labelled the XXY movie review, or whatever I'll call it, you know, I would like to mention my thoughts of people on planet Earth. I believe that people on planet Earth are not just males and not just females. In other words, planet Earth is not made up of people that are 2 sexes. You know, I think we're people that are made up of the mixture of both sexes in varying ratios. And this is why I reject the term Klinefelter syndrome to be placed upon me and what I'm supposed to have, because they say Klinefelter syndrome are XXY males, and I'm clearly not an XXY male. I mean, it's easier to live in this world if you just say that you're a man and you're a guy and you're normal and you're straight and whatever. Much easier. I'm saying I'm not straight either. I'm not into men. Never been into men. Man-looking people. Excuse me. Here I am telling you there's no males and females, and then I say I'm not into men. No, I suppose I'm not into things with dicks. Yeah, I don't like specimens with a dick. Yeah, penis. I don't like penises. I like my own penis. But yet, I see a lot of penises that I would love to have instead of my penis, because my penis and balls and genitals down there, downstairs here, are small, very small in comparison to most men and most humans with penises. See, we do have to change our language. I have to change my language. I have to be corrected as well. I think it's important. I think we have to move on, you know, because the XXY movie really gave it impacted people, you know, how hard it is to have genitalia that is not normal, which actually is normal. Intersex babies have been going on forever, and it just hasn't been it hasn't been looked after, you know, with telling people what is the reality. They've been trying to cover it up, obviously, you know. It could be another reason why this idea of internet 2 might be coming into play, because simply the truth is being known now, it's being talked about, and people are using their own brains to work out things instead of being fed information that actually turns out to be not true a lot of the time. So planet intersex, I believe, is the whole planet. as bold a statement as that is, I'm looking straight in, eyeball to eyeball into the camera. I say that with conviction of absolute. I really just, I don't see too many examples of 100% complete male characters. That 100% male that you say is a guy and he's definitely a man, look at him, he's got a beard and everything. There's certain parts of him that are a bit feminine, so don't tell me he's a male. Okay, so that's what I rejected. But I didn't reject the XXY movie. I thought that it was a very good movie in general, and the fact that the actors that just did that, they're amateur actors as far as I know, very excellent. So muchas gracias, Lucia Puenza, or Puenzo, I forget. And sueña con los angelitos esta noche. Espero todo bien. Okay, ciao for now. Good Nacht.